Thank you so much. So, how many of you have been to a neighborhood council meeting before? Great to see the engagement. So all the neighborhood councils, planning committees opted to call this meeting, and I'll say a few words. I'm a guest today of the neighborhood councils, and I want to thank the leadership of all the neighborhood councils representing us in San Pedro for putting this meeting together to talk about the Gaffey Street, the Great Street Initiative. And as you know, during his first State of the City address, Mayor Garcetti announced Gaffey Street as one of his first streets as a Great Street Initiative. Now, LA streets make up about 15% of all the land in the city of Los Angeles. They are our largest public asset, forming and reflecting the character of our neighborhoods, our people, and overall our city. The Great Street Initiative is intended to take advantage of this underutilized asset to support thriving neighborhoods. We will develop great streets that activate public spaces, provide economic revitalization, increase public safety, enhance local culture, and support great neighborhoods. By reimagining our streetscape, we can create transformative gathering places for Angelenos to come together, whether they travel by car, by transit, whether they travel by car or on foot, by bike, bus, or on. But the bottom line is that the Great Street Initiative is meant to get rid of undesirable businesses along Gaffey, like the pot shops and the fast food joints, and replace them with nice businesses and family sit-down restaurants, making our main corridor beautiful and engaging. And there's nobody in San Pedro that doesn't agree that Gaffey Street needs improvements. Gaffey Street is the first impression when visitors see when they drive into our town, and it represents us as a community. The recent upgrade of the Gaffey Street Bridge is a prime example of how we can make improvements that make all of us proud of our hometown. Now, because of this Great Streets designation, we are now in a position to plan the eventual renovation of our main street, which will attract great businesses, visitors, and the entire community. It will raise property values and bring San Pedro into a new era. Now, we are here tonight because there's been some significant opposition to only one of the elements of renovating Gaffey Street, and that is lane reductions. So I'm here to definitely state that just like there will be no Olympic Games in LA in 2024, there will not be any lane reductions on Gaffey Street. Tonight's meeting, as I said, was called by all the San Pedro neighborhood councils, and they can have their say about the concept of reducing a lane, and they will. But tonight's meeting was designed as an extension of the steering committee, which was made up of local residents, business owners along Gaffey, and they have been assessing the plans and these ideas over the past year. However, since we have a strong social media machine in San Pedro that I'm proud of, that's so effective and strong, and because my office and I have been following the Facebook, the tweets, the conversations on our social media, and the recent online petition that's over 1,200 strong, lane reductions will not be a part of the final conceptual plan once it's complete. We are at a cusp of a new era in the harbor area. We are close to a lease agreement which will begin the redevelopment of ports of call along the new LA waterfront. This week, we announced the first steps towards assessing potential upgrades to the Rancho San Pedro housing development. I'm personally giving tours to developers at the Cabrillo Marina pads that are available and are ripe for redevelopment. We are receiving enormous interest in the outer harbor, where we hosted Cirque du Soleil, the Red Bull Rallycross race a few months ago. The $500 million Alta-Sea development will quickly become one of the world's most recognizable sustainability institutes. It's been a long time coming. San Pedro has arrived to its rightful place as an investable community. Our Main Street needs to reflect the opportunities that are happening around our town. The LA Neighborhood Initiative is a project manager of the Gaffey conceptual plan. They are still developing the plan and will continue to work with the steering committee. And as I often say in public settings, that government works best when it listens. We are not voting on what's going to take shape on Gaffey Street. This is all part of the community outreach process that we've been hosted tonight by our neighborhood councils, and this is why our neighborhood councils exist. In fact, if I can recognize neighborhood council members to please stand and be recognized. Lori, I see you here. Debbie, Frank, thank you so much. Thank you very much for being here. Give a round of applause. So again, let me reiterate that the conceptual plan, the steering committee, Lonnie, are still developing it and will continue to work with the steering committee, the neighborhood councils, as I mentioned, and the entire public to come up with a design that reflects the future of San Pedro. Gaffey Street is important to me and my family. Oftentimes I have to direct my guests to San Pedro to turn right on First Street to avoid Gaffey. And we want to change that. Because I am embarrassed by our main corridor. We need to improve it and beautify it. It is our turn, it's our time, and this is, again, a step in the right direction. And we're here just to discuss this one piece, which is the lane reduction that everyone's all fired up about. And this is the righteous way to get this dialogue and get the input. I wasn't a part of the citywide bike plan. That was something that I inherited, but knowing that I can really take shape in policy and reach out to the community and be inclusive through each and every one of you is something that I will continue to embrace as we move forward and transform our San Pedro community. So with that, I want to invite Lonnie to come up. Sue, actually, I'll turn it back to the neighborhood councils and to move forward with the presentation. Thank you all for being here.